Hey there, Script Eater Pro family. Today we're going to be talking all about pages. First pages, first 5, 10, 30 pages. So, got a little bit of tips and tricks that we're going to move you through to make sure you're concentrating on the right things. So, let's go. Hey everybody, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Once again, I'm Scott, and as I said off the start, we are going to be talking about first pages here. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's a short film, TV pilot, feature film, whatever you're writing, your first pages are important. Okay, so we're going to talk about a different set of pages and what you need to make sure you're doing, what people are looking for, how they're going to affect people off the start in the different mediums, okay? No matter which medium, the first page, huge, all right? It's the most important page of your script because it sets a first impression. And as you flip open a PDF, as you're a reader, as many people now read them just as PDFs, looking at that first page will either pull you in or not, okay? There are many arguments on how many words you want to put on a page and what your style is and your voice and the best way to have it come across to people. What really matters is making effective use of that page. I've read scripts where there's big chunks of prose, but it's written so well and so cinematically that it just pulls me right through. So I don't even notice that that text is there. Okay? But a great rule of thumb to follow is the more white space on a page, the better. Because as we move through a page, we want it to cinematically come to life and move us, right? Move us quickly and visually through. Your first page definitely sets a tone. Not just what your script tone is, but who you are as a writer or writers. That first page is everything when it comes to our impression on what we are going to get with this script. You want to do all you can to set your tone on that first page. If it's a horror script, you want us to feel some kind of sense of dread or darkness on that first page. If it's a comedy, you want to have us laughing, at least, or chuckling at something. If it's a drama, you want to invest and pull and engage us into that world. You want to make sure that we understand what genre we are in on the very first page that we are reading there. You want your style to be engaging and pull us in. You want to be visually enticing. It cinematically needs to come alive. The best thing you can do as a writer is make a reader forget they are reading. If I ever remember I'm reading as a reader, that means I'm out of it. That means I'm not in it anymore. If you can make a reader forget they're reading and make them feel as though they're watching something unfold on the screen in front of them, that's magical. So your first page needs to pull us in and make us feel like we're watching something immediately. Now, in TV and film, two different variables there, okay? As a feature film, you're usually trying to put a spec out there that excites enough people to want to produce it, but also want to work with you as a writer. In TV, more than being a spec sample for a possible sale, it's acting as a sample of who you are as a writer to get hired into a writing room. Okay? So in TV, the first 5 pages are pretty much everything. As they go through staffing season and they're going through script after script after script, they know in 5 pages whether you are the voice they're looking for, whether you're going to fit in their room, whether your style and who you are as a writer will gel with what they're trying to put out there. They will know that in 5 pages. And it may seem like a stretch, but the more scripts you read, the more you understand what that means. And in those first 5 pages, if you've set up the world, if you introduce the characters well, if you're witty, if you're stylish, if you're engaging, if you're showing layers and richness and your dialogue is popping, that's going to make people want to keep reading. And if you get them in those 5 pages, they will read to the end. If you can get your reader engaged in 5 pages in a pilot script, they will read right to the end of that script without fail. If you don't, that script's moving on. They're going to the next in their pile. Staffing season has just an overabundance of scripts that all reps are sending out, whether it's a rep script that comes in or a blind script that was queried. There's a ton of scripts to get through to try and fill that room with those very minimal positions. In a feature film, you have a little bit more grace. You got about 10 or 15 pages. Myself, I give every script 30 pages to build my confidence. If by 30 pages into a script, I don't know what movie I'm in, I've lost all confidence that the writer is going to take me somewhere fulfilling. If 30 pages have gone by and I still don't quite know where we're going, it's hard to believe that the writer is capable of it. So that's my own preference. 10 or 15 pages is usually all the patience that someone has for a script if it's not grabbing them. Okay? So in those 10 pages of a feature film, 10, 15, we'll just say 10 for fun, your job is to create a world and pull us into it and let us meet your hero or heroine and your ensemble, whoever it is, and let us know who they are, why we are there, why we are watching them, what they're going to be giving us, and what that world is like, so that when we hit that inciting incident, we're ready to go. And the inciting incident doesn't necessarily have to happen on page 12 or page 10 exactly, right? In those first 10 or 15 pages, somewhere from 1 to 15, an inciting incident will push the story into motion. It makes us understand the reason for this story to happen. Now, in those first 10 pages, again, you are being judged on your writing ability, being judged on how you are bringing us into the world, how visual it is, if you're showing us more than you're telling us, if people are talking like real people, if we're getting dialogue that's not on the nose, that isn't blatant exposition, right? All those basics, okay? But at the end of those 10 pages, if that inciting incident hasn't happened and we're not moving forward in the world, you can bet that a reader is going to lose all confidence in you. And I think that's what a lot of writers don't quite understand, is you have to make your reader confident that you are taking them somewhere worthwhile, right? That those first, and read the first 10, 15 pages of any produced script of a movie that engaged you and watch what happens in those pages. It's important to make sure that those initial experiences by us invest us so much in what's going on that we will keep going. Sometimes we'll read scripts that the plot is perfect, everything is great, but the characters just sound flat or cardboard, or they're talking in ways that people don't talk. You need to make sure in those pages that everything is perfect. And so getting feedback, especially on those pages as you're moving along, is a great way to understand if people are getting engaged in what you're putting out there for them. Try and put your character in those interesting positions where we understand who they are. Interesting scenes we've never seen before that showcase who that character is, why they're worth watching, why we want to stay. Okay? So first 10 or so pages in a feature, that's what people are looking for. First 30 pages, they need to make sure that the movie's actually going somewhere, right? That we understand, okay, this is the story, we're off, right? In a TV pilot, it's only 30 pages, 60 pages, right? Depending on the format that you're going for. You don't have a lot of time. There's not a lot of real estate there to play with. So you need to be very conscious of the choices that you are making. You need to have scenes that are probably shorter so you can get enough in. Now, one thing you don't want to do, no matter what medium it is overdo the amount of characters you have. The rule of thumb that works well is about 6 or 7 characters, kind of maximum. We're not going to remember any more than that. We're not going to have characters come in and all of a sudden there's 17 characters. We're not going to remember those people. Remember maybe 2 or 3 of them because you've overwhelmed us. 6, 7 characters spaced out over those 10 or so pages, spaced into those 5 pages in ways that we at least get 2 or 3 important people and the rest will follow if it's a TV. That's going to be the most that we can really latch onto. And if you look at a lot of series, that's about where they max out. Important characters. There's always going to be peripheral characters, but your core group of the most important characters should come to us as fast as possible. People are wanting screenplays and scripts coming to them that don't need to be developed anymore. They're not interested in getting on a script that seems pretty good, but it's still got a long way to go. The reason they don't even if they like the idea or they like the script, they have so many other scripts that they like just as much or better. And people don't make a lot of content anymore as much as they used to. So it's very important they pick and choose and be very choosy. And one little detail in a project can make them set it aside, even if they love all 97% of the rest of it. That 3% stops them and they move to the next one. So don't allow your first pages to give anyone a reason for pause, okay? There's an art to screenwriting. There is a talent that must be inherent in who you are as a storyteller and as an actual writer to master those words, to make us forget there are words there. It sounds like a crazy idea, but that's what it is. That's what a great screenplay does for you, whether it's TV, whether it's a short, feature film, doesn't matter. If it visually pulls you in and puts you there, you're there. If you like what you saw today and you want more, feel free to subscribe. We've got lots of videos online already. We've got a lot more coming, and we're writers, right? That's what we do, and we're trying to pass on what we know to you in ways that can help, because we want to make you better with every page. That's our whole reason for being here. So look into some of our services, like our mentorship program and different things like that, that can help you build your overall skill more. Okay, check out some of our other videos, and until next time, write hard.